Hello, Fabric community. This is the March edition of the Fabric Monthly Update, and I'm so excited to be here with you all. I'm Patrick LeBlanc, Principal Program Manager for Microsoft Fabric.
Hello, all. I'm Swetha Mannepalli, Senior Product Marketing Manager at Microsoft. We are so excited to be here at FabCon Las Vegas this week. If you see us, either Patrick or myself, make sure to say hello.
And you probably noticed we're doing some tinkering, we're doing some experimenting with the format of these videos lately. And we're working to make them so that you can consume them easier, so they're more digestible, hoping that you can easily discover the demos and more easily search for all the things and all the items and all the updates that's coming every month.
That's right, Patrick. Each month, we'll do an intro video just like this, summarizing all the key features and diving deeper into a few. We have a monthly playlist, and following this video is the demo video. So please make sure to check that out.
And you can find the full playlist in the playlist tab and in the video description below. And of course, for more details, check out the update blog. There's lots of details and lots of content that you can find there. The link is in the description below. Now let's dive into these exciting updates. First up, we have the variable library. This is huge for organizations that's trying to simplify their CI/CD processes, right? They want everything streamed in and streamed out as fast as those updates and changes are coming. It'll make it easier for our teams to manage configurations without complex and constantly updating each environment. The variable library allows you to find these variables, guess where, at the workspace level, which can be used across pipelines, notebooks, shortcuts, and even lakehouses.
So, Patrick, it's all about making things more manageable and less error prone. So, next up, we have other exciting updates within the new partner workloads in Fabric.
Our partners are doing some amazing things. We're partnering up with some amazing companies to introduce new capabilities integrated directly in Fabric workloads. These features let you create new items types within shared workspaces and enhance your team collaboration.
That is right, Patrick. The Workload Hub acts as, if you really think about it, as an in product marketplace where all the partners integrate their solutions just within Fabric and giving the community access to a variety of tools, right from data storage and transformation to MDM platforms and visualizations. It's all seamlessly integrated into the Fabric experience.
Yeah, back when I was a developer, I'd be really excited about this new workload development kit, Swetha. It just improves it experience and allows me to integrate custom functions directly inside of Fabric. As a developer, as a former developer, I just can't wait to see what, the current developers do with this.
That is right. So the kit allows developers and Microsoft partners to incorporate custom workloads into Fabric. So this is really giving them more flexibility to enhance analytic processes and even create new revenue opportunities. How cool is that?
Yeah, but speaking of making things easier, we know that people are just growing and growing the number of items and artifacts in their fabric capacities. And so now we've enhanced the search abilities in One Lake to make finding things just so much easier.
That is right, Patrick. So this update allows users to search for sub-items like tables, columns, measures directly within their data items. So it's available once you click on a specific item and it will help you get to the relevant information without, navigating through multiple layers.
Yeah, and I like how you said that click because it's just with a single click. I don't have to do a whole bunch. It saves me time and it improves my workflow and it just makes things so much faster, especially with the new quick action feature that's available.
That is right. Patrick, efficiency is key. We all know that because the life is moving super fast and we want to get to things really, really fast. So, efficiency is absolutely key to all the things that we do. But moving on to some more important security updates, they've got purview data loss prevention, the DLP policies for KQL and mirrored databases. Tell us more about that, Patrick.
Well, Microsoft runs on security, right? We've been hearing this and we know this, and security is so important. Security teams will now be able to use DLP policies to scan content and detect sensitive information in cloud databases, right? This helps mitigate risks by triggering actions like policy tips, audit logs, and even alerts. Plus, the public preview now includes support, like you said, for KQL databases and mirrored databases so we can proactively monitor those environments and sleep easy at night.
That's right, Patrick. That is absolutely needed. But we're not stopping there. We're also enhancing security with row level and column level security within Spark. So this feature allows organizations to implement fine-grained access controls to ensure that sensitive data is filtered before it reaches users.
Now, this one is really exciting for me. So think about what we're talking about here. So this one lake security. If I am a developer in Fabric and I create a warehouse and I create reports on top of it, and I create a semantic model on top of it, or I create a lake house and I build all these artifacts that's accessing that data. In the past, what you had to do was if you built the Power BI semantic model, if you had a data warehouse or a lake house, I had to go in each one of those workloads and implement my own security policies and possibly replicate them across all of them. Now I don't have to do that because I put security directly in one lake security. And then when I connect with the report, when I connect with the notebook, when I connect with a tool like Excel or even Management Studio, all the security comes from a single place and I don't have to worry about it. It's kind of like set it and forget it. All of our customers, if you read the comments, if you talk to customers on a daily basis, this is one of the number one ads that people are waiting for. And I'm so excited that it's here, Swetha.
No, that is wonderful, Patrick. And if you notice, I want to touch on the comments that you mentioned, Patrick. We are constantly monitoring the chat to make sure we take all the goodness and also the things that we can improve on. So please keep them coming. So, speaking of improvements, Patrick, we're also introducing Fabric user data functions, which is in preview. Tell us more about that.
So we're continuing to trend for these developers. So these Fabric user data functions allow our app developers and data engineers like me to write custom logic and run applications directly in Fabric. So I can implement this custom data engineering task such as data validation, data cleansing, or even reusable function libraries integrated with all of my Fabric data sources. Think about that for a second. So if I need to clean up my data, if I need to modify some data while I'm using some type of item in Fabric, I can do all this using my data function and I can reuse the logic over and over and over, which makes me a more efficient developer or data engineer.
No, that is absolutely right, Patrick. And then this feature is really fantastic when you are thinking about building integrations and reusing functions across multiple projects. So you don't have to redo the same thing across the board. So you can just use this and use it across multiple projects, so to speak. Now let's talk about some updates in data warehouse, Patrick. And starting with that is going to be alter table drop column and store procedure rename column. Go for it.
Yeah. So if you think about this for a second, my roots in business intelligence comes from the data warehouse. I've been designing data warehouses since I'm not gonna say when, just to say a long time.
1900s. I got you.
1800s. Okay, okay. And a lot of times when we're designing, especially in the development process, we create the table and we sometimes we add unnecessary columns because the people that come up with the requirements say we need 100 columns, and then by the time you finish your design process you're down to maybe 50 columns. And before this capability came out, before this syntax was allowed for us to run alter table drop column, I had to drop the table and recreate the table. Now I can just issue this alter table drop column statement to remove those unnecessary columns in one swoop. It's nice. I'm really excited about this. And then the SP rename. Well, I mean, do we get our names right all the time? All right. Sometimes we have to change them. Sometimes we change standards, and that's where this SP rename will come in really, really handy.
No, you're right, Patrick. So SP rename column feature lets you to rename columns like we know, but here is the catch: without any downtime, which makes schema adjustments much easier and reduces the risk of errors. But unfortunately, renaming columns is not supported for Lakehouse tables either.
Yeah. But it's okay, right? I'm sure our team's working on getting it working across all of our workloads.
That is right. That is right.
All right, so let's move on to real-time intelligence with Fabric Events. This feature, it's now generally available. It allows organizations to capture, process, and respond to events seamlessly within their workflows. It's not a whole bunch of effort that goes into this.
That is right, Patrick. Now, to wrap things up, we have got some new features in Data Factory, including one lake file triggers for pipelines. Tell us more about that, Patrick.
Yeah, these events will enable businesses to automate processes and make faster decisions based on real-time data. So if I'm changing something, if I'm updating something, these events will automatically trigger and I can make something happen, while I'm sleeping, while I'm taking a nap. So yeah, it just works, Swetha. I'm
Now,
excited about this.
Patrick, I have a special affinity for data factory and data warehouse because I come from the ETL background, so I can totally, attest to what you just said. So cool feature.
Yeah. With this new feature, though, you can automatically trigger your pipeline when files in one lake are added, deleted, renamed.
That's cool.
It's perfect for automating your workflow tasks. And so imagine you've created this ETL process with, and you're dropping these diff files into it. I can just say when Swetha adds more files, fire off this pipeline and do some work for me.
Oh,
And I don't have to worry about anything. It's pretty nice.
that is efficient. Thank you,
Yeah.
Patrick. So another addition to keep going with all the goodness is variable libraries for pipelines, which lets you assign environment specific values to variables. So what does it do? It really makes deployment changes across different environments like dev, test, and production easier. Oh my goodness. I am personally excited for this feature, Patrick.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna make our lives so much easier because now we don't have to worry about connection strings and things like that as we go across the different environments in our pipelines. It's just gonna streamline everything that we do. And finally, I can parameterize my Spark job definitions and run them directly in Data Factory pipelines. And so now I can provide metadata and have it iterate over that metadata and have all my Spark jobs run based on that. So maybe I can create a complete metadata driven pipeline for my Spark definition jobs. Swetha, this has to make you excited. This
Oh,
has to make you excited.
definitely. I had to create a bunch of pipelines by myself to do exactly what you did, Patrick, but this feature is going to be super cool. So that's a lot of exciting updates, Patrick, but make sure to check out the blog. What we shared today, Patrick and I, are 10% of all the features that are available. So check out the blog for the full list of features for the month of March. And Patrick, anything else you want to add?
What do you think of this new format? Remember, we're experimenting with this. If you have any questions, comments, you know what to do. Post it in the comments below. If you want to see the demos, or if you want to learn more about all these features we talked about, links will be down below in the comments. Go check them out and let us know what you think. If we missed something, if you want to see a demo on something particular, again, tell us in the comments below. All right. If you like this video, be sure to give us a big thumbs up. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. And as always, from Swetha, Microsoft, and myself, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month.
So, Patrick, you got really excited there, but the links are in the description, not the comments. The demo links are in the description, guys.
Thanks, Swetha. Thanks.